Hey guys, welcome to our video. This is John Watts. In these very difficult economic times, a lot of people start thinking about bankruptcy and they say, is bankruptcy right for me? What will bankruptcy do for me? What's the cost? Not just money, but what's the long-term cost of filing bankruptcy? And I'll tell you this, bankruptcy is a tool. That's not a tool that we use very often because we think there are usually better ways to deal with debt, deal with an upcoming foreclosure, certainly to deal with debt collection lawsuits. But occasionally bankruptcy is the right way to go. And so you may be watching this video because you're trying to figure out about what exactly does bankruptcy do. And what I want to talk about in this video is the difference between what's called the automatic stay and then the discharge order. So we've talked in other videos about the difference between Chapter 7 and 13 and things like that. But let's talk about this because one reason people file bankruptcy is they just feel like the world is closing in on them and they just need kind of a break to say, stop, just leave me alone for a second, give me some breathing room. Well, when you file bankruptcy, and there are a few exceptions, but if you file the right type of bankruptcy and you followed all the rules, then you normally will get what's called the automatic stay. Well, it's automatic because it happens the moment that you file the case. Well, what does stay mean? It just tells everybody, freeze, don't do anything. Don't call me, don't write me, don't sue me. If you've got a lawsuit, you better stop that lawsuit. Just everybody take a deep breath. Give me time to breathe. That's what the automatic stay is. And how long does that last? Well, when you file the case, it immediately goes into effect. And then it's in effect until the case is discharged or the case is over. Now, as you're going through here, if, for example, you're not paying your mortgage company, they can file what's called a motion for relief from stay. So they say, Judge, so a motion is just asking the judge to do something. They say, Judge, give us relief from that automatic stay. In other words, lift that stay. Get rid of that stay so that we, the mortgage company, car company, whoever it might be, can pursue the consumer. And under the right circumstances, the judge will do that. But if we put that aside, from the moment you file it till the case is over, you have that automatic stay. Now, what about after the case is over? Well, if your case was dismissed, maybe you dismissed it, maybe the court dismissed it because you weren't making payments, whatever it might be, well, then there's nothing after that. But if you receive a discharge, which is what you're looking for in a Chapter 7 and even a Chapter 13. Chapter 13 usually, although it's been modified slightly because of the coronavirus, but usually that's you're paying for 3 years or 5 years. And if you make all those payments, then you get your discharge. Chapter 7, it's usually like 3 months. You get your discharge. Well, once you get your discharge, the automatic stay falls away because that was only from the time you filed until the time the case is over. But if you get a discharge, now for the rest of your life, you have that discharge. Well, what does that mean? That means any of these debts back here that were included in your bankruptcy that are dischargeable, it's like they run into a brick wall with that discharge. They can't get through. They can't call you. They can't write you. They can't credit report on you. In other words, any sort of updated information. They can't say, so Capital One, you owed them $5,000, you got a discharge. Well, once you get that discharge, and really before then, but we'll just talk about the discharge, they can't report that you owe $5,000 because you owe zero to them. They've hit that wall, that discharge order. They can't get around it. So collectors that call you on debts that were included in the bankruptcy and couldn't get past that wall, if they call you afterwards, then you sue them for violating the discharge order and for illegal debt collection. And now there are certain debts that are more difficult to discharge. So student loans can be very challenging to discharge. There are some types of taxes that cannot be discharged. And a lot of people are confused by that, but they just don't understand the difference in types of taxes. And did you file your own tax return or did you just refuse to file a tax return and the IRS filed one for you? It's called an SFR. If they file that, that's not dischargeable in bankruptcy. So it depends on what type of taxes we're talking about. Certain other obligations you cannot discharge, but by and large, most things you can discharge the debt. And so that debt runs into that wall and it can't get through to you. So think about it this way. The automatic stay protects you from the moment you file bankruptcy through the end of the case. And then the discharge order protects you after the case, after the discharge of your debt. So hope that that's helpful. If you have any questions, live in Alabama, give us a call, 205-879-2447, or you can go to alabamaconsumer.com. Thanks for watching this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, guys, have a good one. Bye-bye.